Oh boy, so can you feel the excitement in the air? Today's Friday, it's marathon weekend. The Boston Marathon is just a couple days away now. And I'm super excited for everybody that's going to be there. And as I mentioned in yesterday's video, it looks like the weather's going to cooperate. Oh, that's just so great. That's just awesome. And I hope that you guys have a fantastic time. Chances are, if you're running the marathon, you're either there already, or you're going to be there shortly. I know our plane tickets had us leaving today. In fact, we would be in the air right now on our way to Boston, had it not been for this sidelining injury. But we're going to take care of that, so that'll be good to go in Chicago. All right, so along those lines, I did start doing some light strengthening. Now, the whole idea for me in this injury recovery and trying to build back stronger so that I'll be prepared to run Chicago and be prepared to do the training block that's going to prepare me to run Chicago, is to do a lot of strength exercises, but not impact exercises at this point. So, I started out doing some pretty light work, but I do have, a list of the different things that I did today, and I thought I'd just kind of share those with you. So I started out doing some hip cars, and I just did one set, 10 on each side. Some of that's about balance, but I did use my mantle a little to help hold me in place, because again, I don't want to overstress my hip right now, and the last thing I want to do is to fall, or do something strange like that. So the whole idea right now for me is just keeping things low impact to the best of my ability. So from there, I moved on to doing some banded monster walks. So I was only going to do 15, one in each direction, so forward and backward. But of course, Bella's laying there in the middle of the carpet, and she wasn't about to give up her spot. She was tired and sleeping, and so, as a pet owner, you could probably relate. I just let her sleep, so I just did a shorter stance, but I did it a couple times to get my 15 in. But I did do 15 going both ways with the banded monster walks. And then I did some step-ups. Now, I used my stairs here to do those because I don't have a small enough step boxes for me to be able to do that. All I have is my jump box, and that sets way too high for that kind of thing. And it worked out okay for today, but that's not something that I want to continue to do in the future if I don't have to, and that's because my stairs are just a little bit too far apart because I went up to the second step. So I was stepping up to the second step and then down again. I did 10 on each side, and I repeated that 3 times, so I did 3 sets of 10. But because they're a little bit farther distance, my feet were a little bit too far apart for what I think I should be doing. I should have a more upright stance for those. Okay, so moving on from there, I did some banded clamshells standing. So standing banded clamshells, which I've done those in the past before, but I've forgotten just how much I feel those in my glutes. Oh my gosh. If you're looking for a good glute exercise to activate that area for you, standing banded clamshells. And then I did some side plank hip dips. Those were a little bit tricky for me because I tend to want to go forward instead of up, right? So you're trying to hinge your hip up like so, as if you had a rope or something tied to your hips and just lifting them to the skies. But I kind of wanted to go forward instead of up. But I think with practice, I'll get a little bit better at that. And it did highlight the fact that I'm weaker on my sides than I probably should be to be a stronger runner. And then I did some side plank leg lifts. Those are really good. I've done those in the past. And again, from the step ups down, those are all 3 sets, and 3 sets of 10 on each side. So all of the things I'm talking about now are 3 sets of 10 on each side. The only ones that I did 1 set of 10 was the hip cars, and then I did 1 set of 15 going forward and backward on the banded monster walks. So, okay, and then from there I did some banded donkey kicks. Now the band that I used didn't have a heavy resistance, and that's okay right now because again, I'm trying to keep low impact but still work that area, and I did again 3 10 on each side. And then I did some modified skater hops because I can't jump and put a lot of force on that femoral neck at this point. So I just modified it, and I didn't jump. I just was much more deliberate about my steps, going back and forth and trying to keep the weight on my leg that was, still on the ground and not the one that was swinging around and staying low. So I kept that, kept the weight there, and did the same thing when I moved to the other side. Bringing my foot around it kind of in a sweeping motion was what I was trying to do. I got a little lazy at times, but I'll get better at that because it's been a while since I've done these, and it's definitely, I've not done them in this fashion before. I've not been so deliberate. So, to lessen the impact. But swinging around and trying to keep my back foot that I'm swinging around off the ground. And that wasn't always possible. Sometimes I lose my balance. I'd have to touch the ground in order to be able to level myself out. So that was my strengthening exercises. So if you follow me on Strava, that's what I did today. So again, low impact on that hip area, but still starting to work my, basically from my waist down, trying to get it to be a better, stronger runner, trying to be prepared. And I like skaters, the skater hops, and even the modified version here, because it gets my side to side movement. And as runners, at least for me anyway, I don't do a lot of side to side. I don't do enough of that because I'm always just going straight. Even on my bicycle, when I'm riding my bicycle, still you're in one position. So trying to get to where I'm moving back and forth so I can get that lateral side movement to strengthen those areas as well. Okay, so for today, it's on our schedule for our marathon training block. It's an easy day, of course. It's an easy day. And that's really all I've got left, except for what would be the marathon effort on Monday. And so it's 30 minutes with 10 minutes to cool down. And I'm going to do that on my stationary bike here in my living room. I had hoped to just do this outside and get a little fresh air, but it's raining out. And so I'm not going to risk wiping out on my mountain bike, and oh my gosh, can you imagine? And that would be my kind of luck. So I'm gonna not press my luck today. I'm gonna stay in on my stationary bike and get this one done. All right, let's do it. So I'm halfway through the easy effort, and I am keeping it pretty easy. Keeping a real close look at my heart rate. Keeping it in the 130s, maybe low 140s. So basically just kind of turning my legs over and working up a sweat. But again, I'm in my living room and it's warm in here, so that's not surprising. I felt really good about the starting of my strength training with the workouts that I did today. Now I will change those up as I go along. Some of them I may drop, and some I might, just increase the resistance or maybe the number of sets, that kind of thing. So I'm definitely going to be tweaking it as I go, where I think it's going to best fit my needs. Now, I probably won't do much in terms of, changing things up too much before I get the okay from my doctor. I got the okay to do all the stuff I'm doing now. So that's good. But, I don't want to add something in that could set me back. So I'll wait until after May 7th, which is that 4-week follow-up appointment, before I make any, real dramatic changes. And that's okay. That's okay. There's plenty I can do between now and then. Oh my goodness. Whew. So that 30 minutes easy is all done. I'm just in the cool down phase, so turning my legs over lightly for about 10 minutes. And that'll be a wrap for this workout. Oh my goodness, felt really good. Easy workouts always do. It doesn't mean I didn't work up a sweat. I did. So there's some definite benefits, especially for building base. So, while it might seem pretty light in terms of what we've been doing, there's still a great deal of value to doing it. So, all right, I will let you go because I got a few minutes yet to spin my legs over, and then we'll take a look at the overall numbers. Oh, you know, it felt really good to get that one in. I was hoping to be outside though, to be honest, but with the rain, like I mentioned earlier, and the high wind advisory, I just don't want to push my luck. You know, the last thing I need to do would be to take a bad fall or wipe out on my mountain bike, and I've done that in the past. And so it's not, you know, it's not an unfounded fear, because definitely on wet pavement, especially on wet pavement, you know, I feel like I'm kind of pushing my luck sometimes if I'm trying to ride my mountain bike here around town. Now, if I was out on the trails and I didn't have this hip issue or something like that, then, you know, I don't know that I would be quite so worried, but better safe than sorry. Okay, so enough about that. So I actually went 41, almost 42 minutes in terms of the workout goes. I just kind of lost track of time at the end. I was daydreaming a little bit about last year's Boston Marathon, and it just brought a huge smile to my face and kind of warmed my heart a little bit just thinking back on it, and how much fun I had and how special it was to be able to share it with, you know, both of my kids, and their spouses were there, some friends were there. Kim, of course, was there at my side the whole time. So, you guys, if you're running Boston, you're in for a special treat. Especially if you've never run it before and this is your first experience, it's a good one. It's a good one. So, you know, and I think after having done all 3 world majors here, Boston has the most, I think, powerful, sentimental type of appeal. I think it's just the, you know, the historic nature of it, and the people there just make you feel so welcome, and it's just amazing. It's just amazing. Not that the others don't, but just there's just a different feel there. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. You know. Okay, so I went 12.35 miles. 264 was the power. I expected it to be low because I wasn't really cranking it out today. 76 was my RPMs, turning my legs over. So it felt good. Hip feels good today, and that's. Oh my gosh, so that is an issue for me because it feels okay to walk and I don't feel any pain. I think my head is telling me, you could run. But my brain is saying, no, don't do it. The doctor says no. So thankfully, my brain is winning out. And so I just, I've got too many goals ahead of me when it comes to running, and I'm not going to screw this up. So I want to get to a place where I'm running happy again. So, all right, you guys. Hey, thanks for making it to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly enjoyed making it for you. As always, run tall, run strong, and kind of run under. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.